Oh no, what is this? What kind of monster is this? I have no idea, but this is a monster. This is an absolute monster fish. Look at this. What kind of monster is this? Good morning, good people. I want to film a little bit of this beautiful morning for you, because by the time I find fish, it will probably be midday. I have to figure something with the boat situation, folks, because most of the time I don't mind fishing all electric without a gas engine. But I came today to catch bedding bluegill, and on these big reservoirs, getting from one place to the other with just the electric motor takes forever. I'm not even in a hurry, but you have only so many hours of the day, right? Especially the beautiful morning. I don't want to waste time getting from one spot to the other in the morning. Later in the day, fine. But right now I just want to drop talent somewhere and start fishing. But yeah, beautiful morning, but I have to get all the way to the end of this cove, not cove, but whatever it is here, just to get a chance of finding some shallow water where I might find some bedding bluegill. This is just too deep. But yeah, I wanted to let you know because I didn't want to start the video in the beginning of the day. Alright, talk to you later. By the way, my live scope is in vertical mode because of what I just described. There is just not enough shallow water. I'm never gonna come fish from this boat ramp again. Got one of these things. I got 20 bucks. That it's a quarter-pound baby bassic. Oh no, it's not. It's a small crappie. Normally I would be happy to see this guy, but you can catch crappie year long. I'm looking for them big, ugly, deformed bluegill. May sound ugly to you. I'm looking for those big, with the face, with the angry face that look like a bluegill. That's what I'm looking for. But that's not what the fishing heavens. There's another kilometer to get to the back of this cove. I might fish here a little bit. There's one more. It's funny. This lake has so much fish. You can stop at a random point and make a video. Here is a bluegill. There's no way there is a bed here. Maybe it's not as deep. Decent bluegill, but this lake has much bigger. By the way, I still have a few hairy dangles left. Maybe just 2. If I switch to fishing for bass, I'm gonna switch to the hairy dangle. I'm telling you, the hairy dangle for juvenile bass, there is something about it. That's my highest confidence lure for juvenile bass. All of these points with trees. Crappie, man. Mixed bag. He's barely hooked. Telling you, Japanese hooks have a lot of advantages, but because the wire is so thin, if you grab the crappie right here, just by being thin, it cuts the fish's mouth. It has nothing to do with the tip of the hook. If you can imagine, it's not the tip of the hook that cuts the mouth. It's the round bend that cuts the mouth of the fish, just because it's so thin. And there's more fish here. There's something else. Yep. A bunch of crappie here without brush, without anything. Without anything. The water is stained. I'm afraid to lift. I lost 2 already. When I kind of feel they're not very big and I'm not afraid to lose them, I pull a little bit more and lose them. If you're not afraid to lose them, so you will, says in the Bible. My Bible. I'm talking about my Bible. Let's keep moving, folks. I don't want to get stuck here. I don't mind stopping, but I want to see more interesting fish. Let's keep going until we get to the end of this finger here of the lake. Let's get a 1 gram jig, black presso color. Last part of the tail is missing. Man, it's very shallow here. Very shallow. I should not get so close. This actually looks like a creek bed going that way, but it's just very shallow. No fish here. Did I spook something? Fish. This is the new Vanquish C, by the way, but the one I greased. I only have 1 spool of line. Where are you going? This is not bass. Should I drop talon here? Is there more fish? Should I drop talon? Cannot be a bass. I'm hoping big bluegill or maybe even a shellcracker. You know, you can swap reels if you have the same reels. I just left the spool here and swapped the reel underneath. This is the one I greased, and it definitely feels more largemouth or spotted bass. It is a bass. It feels more buttery. I don't have a phobia that I'm wearing out my super expensive Vanquish. Feels more buttery and more quiety. Man, these clicks. What are you doing in 3 feet of water, buddy? What are you doing? I came here for the big bluegill. Let me tell you the one thing I learned about fishing. You can catch fish every time if you're good and you have time to find them. But it's never gonna be what you came here for. You came for big bluegill, you catch crappie and bass. You gave up on the bluegill, switch to bass, then you find a bed of nice fat bluegill. Give up on everything, then you find channel catfish and white bass. Man, nice basic. Spotted for sure. Do you guys see the spots? Spotted for sure. What a nice fight on the extra ultra light. Fight on the extra ultra light. Take that, Catfish Dave. You're not the only poet in Tennessee. Stop saying that. Catfish Dave has been saying he's the only poet in Tennessee. What am I, Catfish Dave? Chopped liver? That's a nice, might be a largemouth even. I don't know. He spawned out very long. Man, that's a nice, if he was full of, I don't know, eggs or something. Spit the hook right away. That fish has the potential to be 3 pounds, but he's long and spawned out. Let me show him to you. 1000 size reel, 1.7 pound wide. No, this is the 2.1. An extra ultralight power rod. This is the 5'10". Get back in there, buddy. I don't know what you were doing there, but this is the 5'10" Presso Air AGS extra ultralight with this Vanquish CE and some nice polyester line. It's an amazing weapon. Don't see anything here. Folks, I don't even know if I can go there any further. I'm in 3 feet of water. Look at this. 3 feet of water. I don't want to get stuck with my deep V here. I can see the bottom here. Nothing, folks. I went all the way to the end of the finger and I got the finger. Well, I caught that one bassick over there. I feel that if I go there, I can catch 1 or 2 more fish. There was more than one mark there, but I'm not interested in 1 or 2 more fish, folks. I want to find a boatload of fish stacked somewhere. Should I make a few casts here? It's a point. I wish it was a little shallower or head fish. This point over here, you see how the bank is a little bit not rocky, but there is some soil and sand and flatter. Let me slow down. I want to fish this bank right here. Maybe even a little bed here. I'm not gonna see it on vertical, but yep. Oh. Dip it is there 7-8 feet. Can we fish with the 1 gram instead of the 1.510? I called it, folks. I think this is a nice bluegill. Don't be a bassick now. Come on now. No bassick. We'll catch bassick later. I want to be mean towards Mr. Bassick. But because everything is rocky, this is the only kind of non-rocky bank. And it's a little bit shallower too. These bluegill, and there is plenty of big bluegill here, they have nowhere else to bed, folks. There's nowhere else to bed. I called it. Nice bijik. Not a trophy though, not yet. Let's switch to the 1 gram right in front of this tree and going forward too. Let's switch to the 1 gram so we can fish slower and more careful. Alright, let's switch to the 1 gram. Same color, but we have a little bit of tail. Tail is not completely gone. Now I'm seeing fish in front of this tree, folks. It's gonna be dangerous. I don't want them to run into the tree. Fish. Man, so buttery. The Vanquish is definitely a more buttery reel than the Presso. The Presso is already smooth reel, but this doesn't feel like a bluegill. Extremely steady and zero head shake. Look at this. What is this? It's not moving at all. Now it's moving a little bit. It's just not moving. What is this? Little basic? Crappie? Man, so smooth now. It was always smooth, but oh my goodness. Shell mama or daddy, but a good one. A good one. First, good fish of the day. No offense to Mr. Basic, which we caught over there. Oh no, what is this? What kind of monster is this? I have no idea, but this is a monster. This is an absolute monster fish. Look at this. What kind of monster is this? Look at this, folks. Is this bluegill? I don't know. I'm not gonna put it on the ruler though, because it's not very long. It's just ridiculously, man, how, if this doesn't make you a fan of pan fishing, catching these fish on this tackle, there's something broken inside of you. Look at this. Look at this. It looks like a bluegill. It looks like a hybrid. It was so steady in the water, like Mr. Basic or Crappie or something, because they usually go rip this way, rip that way, but not this one. Amazing. You know, one fish like this can make you, oh, I should have taken a picture. One picture like this can make your day, folks. Why didn't I take a picture? There's one more. Oh, this one is smaller. It's alright. My gosh, is it buttery smooth. Is it so buttery right now? What is this? It's right in the glare. It's another shell, man. It's another, I don't know, shell or a hybrid. These things are absolute tanks, folks. These things are absolute tanks. I didn't take a picture of the good one. Should I take a picture with the small one now? He let go of the lure. Look at this. Absolute freaking tanks. If this doesn't make you fan of pan fishing, look at this. Look. Absolute freaking tanks. Last part of the tail is gone. So what, I say? I'm seeing some fish even deeper on the slope, but those might be basics. But here in 10 feet of water has to be a bed. I'm still in vertical mode though. There's one more. Right where this leaf is, not far from me. Listen to these clicks, you can count them. Extra ultralight. Another freaking tank. Another freaking tank, folks. These are all 10-inch fish. Every fish is a 10-inch fish. You know, keep in mind another secret I'm gonna tell you. When you have a deep lake and there is no beds, don't give up on that part of the lake. Don't give up. Don't give up, because when you find a good spot, like look, this is a point. There's not a lot of big area to spawn here. but you have a little soil. Look at the rest of the bank. Where can these fish bed? There's nowhere else to bed but here. When you finally find the spot, they will all be there. Look at these fish. Oh no. Yeah. Look, is this bluegill? Is this some hybrid? I mean, these things are, if this is a bluegill, what the hell is this? Let me take one picture, man. I can't take it anymore. Let me take one pic, or should I? Forget it. I'll just let it go. Maybe if we catch a 12-incher. Just one more. Are you a tank? Be a tank. One more tank. How many tanks did I land? 3 or 4. Yeah, it's a tank. Just look at the line. How steady, and listen to the clicks. Tanks behave like this. They don't panic right away. They look around. What's going on? Oh, there ain't no tank. There ain't no tank at all. That's why I got a few bites without connecting. But no, even this should not be a bite without connecting. But this fish took quite a few casts. Quite a few casts. The first 3 or 4 were boom, boom, boom. Those were the big ones. Just one more. Of some sort, but there is no bad sort here. It's huge bluegill or huge Frankensteins. That's the 2 sorts. Is this a Frankenstein or a bluegill? Now this seems to be a pure shellcracker, which explains why I'm catching hybrids here. If both bluegill and shellcracker are spawning here, it's very easy for things to get mixed up, if you know what I mean. Very easy. My gosh, not one small fish here. Oh! Splash right in the eye socket. Not one small fish here. Now this one is relatively small, but it's not spawned yet, full of eggs. Look how thick it is. This is an 8.5-inch fish that was holding the line steady like a carp. Look at this. Get back in there, mama. Complete your mama duties. Oh. Oh, one more. One more of a sort. What sort is it? Now the wind is blowing me the other way. Man, this Vanquish is a joy. I mean, the other one is a joy too, but this one now looks good too. This one looks good on top of everything else. You know, today is kind of a typical day. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Not every typical day ends with finding amazing spots like this. But if we take this, and we're starting to catch smaller fish now, but if we take this last spot out of the picture, folks, there you go, the rest of the day is kind of typical. There is a lot of scanning. You see some fish, you cast, you catch something, but small crappie, small bassic, maybe one larger bassic. That's a typical day where you don't find something nice in the end. Not always you find something nice in the end. In this case we did, but just so you guys know, sometimes I start the video right here and I start catching fish after fish. I don't show you the 3 hours of scanning before that, catching the dinky bluegill and the dinky crappie, because the video is already 30 minutes long. I cannot make it on top of that 30 minutes of looking for fish too, right? It would be too long. But in this video I think I will include, even though we caught enough fish from this spot to only show you the spot, In this fish, I think I will include the entire experience since the morning. Again, not saying that every time I find an amazing spot with 10 and 11 inch hybrids, but the search process is kind of like this. That's what I think about the points, about the end of the cove over there. You kind of heard my process. Now this is going to be something small that hit right here. You kind of heard my process. It's not going to be too small. It's going to be at least 8 inches of something. It's going to be at least 8 good inches of panfish. Furious though. Mucho furioso. That's a nice male bluegill. I thought it was gonna be like a 6-incher. And that's a nice, not the nicest, but one of the better bluegill today for sure. And he chased it and hit it in front of the trolling motor. All day I'm fishing with this black presso dangly tail. But man, I hope the camera was in good angle. But without the last part of the tail. Still works. Still works. One more. God bless. It's taking a very long time between fish now, folks. Very long time. This feels like a good one though. Let's see what it is. Is it one of those ugly hybrids? Or one of these bluegills? Because we started catching bluegill now. It is a bluegill. No, I don't know what it is. Let's land it first. Let's land it first. Oh my god, it looks like a... I can lift this one. No, I cannot. Dangerous. I don't know. It looks like a bluegill something hybrid. Sometimes it looks like a bluegill, sometimes it doesn't. Look at this thing. Even this thing. What a tank. Folks, I'm gonna end this video here because it's taking too long to catch a fish now, and you can see that all of the big monsters seem to be gone. This is the only thing that's left. This is still an 8-inch fish. I think it's more than 8-inch fish. Let me bump it to show it to you. This is still a tank of a fish, but it's getting late and I want to go check some other spots, but I doubt that the other spots will have better fish. If you find one amazing spot per day, folks, that's almost a 9-inch fish, and it looks smaller compared to these things. If you find one amazing spot per day, it's still a good day. But this video is kind of typical of how my day goes when I go to a new lake. There is 2, 3, 4 hours to find one good spot, and there isn't always a happy ending. But in this video there was a happy ending. We caught some serious monsters in the end, and I want to thank everybody who watched the video to the end. Thank you very much, folks, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.